enjoyed a poo-poo platter? How many know what a poo-poo platter is? You know, or you get a plate of sliders. You know, it's when you get an appetizer in a restaurant with several different things that you sample because you can't really make up your mind. And Brene Brown says that her addictions, she says she has a poo-poo platter addiction. I always like that a lot because I can relate to that. I have a poo-poo platter of addictions. But I'm not going to talk about my addictions today. But I am going to give you a poo-poo sermon. I have 3 things I wanted to talk about today, and they didn't seem very related. So I'm going to give 3 little mini sermons, just a little slider. Poo-poo platter number 1 is temperance. Each month of this year, 2019, we are reflecting on fruits of the Spirit, identified by the Apostle Paul. If we're growing spiritually, if we're doing our 11th step and practicing conscious contact with our higher power, we begin to exhibit these fruits. And each month of this year, you are invited to nurture and cultivate another of your own spiritual fruits. Now, 3 artists in our congregation, Charlie and Brooklyn and Jenny. Is Jenny here today? Anyway, they've been creating a visual prayer station, really, for us at the back of the church. Feel free to pause as you enter or you leave, or just come in sometime and pull up a chair when the sanctuary is empty. It's a nice thing to do. The fruits of the Spirit generally evoke positive responses in me. Joy, peace, love. Who doesn't want some of that? I found myself this month, though, having kind of a knee-jerk reaction. Temperance. And why? When I think of temperance, I think of the temperance movement in the 19th and early 20th centuries. I think of angry, crusading women like Carrie Nation going into the bars with her hatchet, chopping up all the alcohol bottles. Angry women and angry Christians. I don't really want to be either one of those. But do you know what temperance means? Sobriety. Oh. No kidding. Sobriety, abstinence, control, the very thing that absolutely saved my life. We are a temperance movement. We are all for resisting anything that not only threatens your relationship with God, but that threatens your life as well. Is there any area in your life that begs for temperance right now? How do you find the strength to abstain from things that promise a quick fix and a slow death? How do you just say no? Poo-poo platter number 2. Just say no seems like a perfect segue into Father's Day, because as we all know, sometimes fathers have to just say no. At least the good ones do. If we were lucky, we had a good one. If not, there are a lot of good ones right in this room. And I want to be the first one to say thank you to all of them. Last year that came up on Father's Day, that if you didn't have a good father, there are a lot of wonderful, loving men right here who are happy to show you the ropes. I was hoping Larry would get up and, where's Larry now? Hi, Larry. I was hoping he'd get up and say he was an F- father, because sometimes he does that. And some of us may have felt like we had a time in life when we were F- at some of our relationships. But I also know Larry has been a sponsor, and which has been kind of a way of fathering other people, and he has helped so many people through that. We have wonderful examples right here in the church. Many fathers have regrets, but Larry is quick to point out that in recovery we can raise our grade, and usually he says he became a what? C minus, B minus?
Probably an A, no.
He's an A. Many of us learn to be better parents as we become better people, and it's never too late. It's a process. Oh, and then I was going to mention Bob and his daughter calling this week, but I guess we had that moment. Bob's a father to many here. And like most fathers, about 90% of his work is behind the scenes. So here's to all fathers who work tirelessly for very little acclaim. And I'd like to share a favorite poem about fathers called Those Winter Sundays. This was written by Robert Cady. Maybe you'll relate. Sundays, too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue-back cold. Then with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather, made bank fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Speaking indifferently to him who has driven out the coal and polished my good shoes as well. What did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? What did I know? All those things that have been done for us that we didn't even notice. Cuckoo platter number 3, suffering. Again, this seems to flow naturally from fatherhood because to love another human being is to suffer. Actually, to be alive is to suffer. The Buddhists start up by saying right up front, life is suffering. All life is suffering. There is a twist in Buddhist thought, a paradox. If we just accept suffering, we lessen it. Buddhists encourage living with life on life's terms, with what is. They say that the greater suffering comes through our thinking. For instance, if we think, if this is how life is, and this is how we think it should be, the distance between the two is the amount of our suffering. Interesting thought. If we look at people and think this is how you should be, we tend to not enjoy their company as much. If we look at a job and think this is how it should be, we can create quite a bit of suffering for ourselves. If we accept what is and choose to be grateful, changes a lot. In today's scripture, the Apostle Paul, we are reminded that suffering can be redemptive. You know the line, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with it. We don't glorify suffering or choose to be professional victims, not at all. But we use it as grist for the mill. We all suffer. We lose people we love. We get sick. We have pain. We struggle with addiction. We grow old. But Paul reminds us that suffering is a part of a much bigger process. If we choose to learn from it, suffering, he says, can lead to or produce endurance. Endurance can produce character, and character can produce hope. And when we hope, God's love is poured into us through the Holy Spirit. So there's your poo-poo platter. And what do temperance, fatherhood, and suffering all have in common? They all take time. Each is a process, and they can all be overwhelming. All we are called to do is do the next right thing. Take the next good step. And not one of us has to do it all alone. Can I get an